The loss of George Michael's great first love made him spend 3 years consumed by grief.
And it was possibly the loneliest time in my life, I think.
The artist met the Brazilian designer Anselmo during his Rock in Rio tour in 1991.
On the night of the first Rock in Rio concert in Maracana Stadium, 160,000 people, it was going to be the biggest audience I'd ever played in front of. But at the front of this 160,000 people, there was this guy over on the right-hand side of the stage.
George Michael was absolutely smitten with the look in the designer's eyes, so much so that for a moment he was distracted from the show.
He was so cute, I was so distracted by him that I stayed away from that end of the stage for a while.
After this chance meeting, they began a wonderful relationship.
That really was the moment my life changed.
After 28 years of life, George's world filled with color.
For the first 6 months of our relationship, at least, I felt better than I had possibly in my entire life.
Unfortunately, soon after, destiny took away all his happiness again, making him go through the worst period of his life. During this stage of his life, George Michael had not yet opened up to the world about his sexuality, which is why he never publicly recognized Anselmo as his partner. For that reason, he had to struggle alone when he found out about his beloved's illness.
A month or two of meeting him, he had a flu that he couldn't get rid of, and some red marks that came up on his chest. And I remember the kind of terror of me understanding that this was possibly the beginning of, an illness.
From that moment on, the acclaimed artist's life was turned upside down, leading him to face one of the toughest battles of his life after Anselmo tested HIV positive.
I remember him leaving the house, and to this day I remember looking at the sky and saying, "Don't you dare do this to me."
Unfortunately, his ailments progressed rapidly, and after 2 years, the designer lost his fight against this autoimmune disease, triggering a moment of intense suffering in the singer's life.
When the phone rang and I was told that Anselmo's best friend in Brazil was on the phone, then it all goes blurry for a long time.
Durante años seguramente George Michael estuvo luchando con su identidad, con ser quien era, cómo ser feliz con su sexualidad, pero Anselmo fue la primera persona que le mostró cómo era ser feliz, ¿no? Fue una persona importantísima en su vida por eso, porque lo ayudó a estar en paz con él mismo, con su sexualidad, con decir, ok, esto es quien soy y no debe de ser algo que me cause conflictos como le causaba antes.
This led him to compose one of the most emotional songs of his career in 1996, to then, in 1998, open up publicly about his sexuality.
I never wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be a star, and I wanted people to love me and recognize me in the street. As a child, that was what I wanted, but I never really wanted to be someone else.
Even when George Michael was able to fall in love again and live his relationships freely and openly, the artist recognized that he never loved anyone like he loved his beloved Anselmo. And despite the fact that at that time it was a taboo subject, the couple was able to enjoy their relationship without being discovered by the media, who weren't prepared yet for their way of loving.
People will find this hard to believe, but Anselmo and I didn't hide.
This is how they taught the world that there is no time or labels that can stand in the way of a feeling as pure and genuine as true love.